Hey everybody, how's it going? It's the Daily Shooter, and today I want to answer one of the biggest questions that I've gotten on this channel since I started doing Second Amendment news for the state of California, and that is, do you think California is a lost cause? Now, first I want to thank one of this channel's sponsors, which is the National Association for Gun Rights, who actually has one of the best Second Amendment channels here on YouTube. If you guys are interested in checking out their channel, which I suggest you do for Second Amendment news and updates, I'll put a link to their channel down below. Now, with Biden and the gun control lobby working overtime to strip away our constitutional rights, I hope you'll get involved with the National Association for Gun Rights. The National Association for Gun Rights, backed by more than 4.5 million members and supporters, is a grassroots-led, no-compromise gun rights organization fighting to restore your rights at all levels of government. In 2021, the NAGR actually led the fight to pass constitutional carry in 5 states: Utah, Montana, Tennessee, Iowa, and Texas. They also have some pretty cool gear and some cool swag, so check out the link below. Okay, so the question at hand, is California a lost cause? Now, this is easily one of the biggest comments and one of the biggest questions that I get on this channel when I do 2A videos for California since the channel started 8 or 9 years ago. There's a lot of people out there that are just very pessimistic. They look at things, they don't see any bright side, they don't see any way out. They see that California just is the way that it is, and that's it. They don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. And so it can be pretty depressing for some people when they feel like they're stuck in a state that just doesn't recognize their Second Amendment rights whatsoever. And so they feel that California is a lost cause. I myself am an optimist. I haven't always been an optimist, but that's one thing that I've tried to do to try and see the bigger picture in order to find a way for something good to happen. So instead of just saying, well, that's just the way it is, it just sucks, it's always going to suck, I try and say, well, how do we make it better? I don't think California is a lost cause. Now, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of Californians who are going to watch this video and they're going to start banging away at their keyboards and they're going to say, dude, have you not watched the news? Have you not seen what's come out of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals? California is a lost cause. I don't see any way that we're going to be able to dig ourselves out of this. It's just, that's it. This is just the way that it's going to be. That is the perspective of somebody who is looking inward at California only. If you're in California and you're looking at California politics, that's exactly how it seems. Because until there is regime change in California, I mean, I'm talking top-down regime change, you really aren't going to see any change in California because the regime will stay the same. The people who are in office are going to change, but their viewpoints will always be what they have been. And so change is not something that's very easy in California. The big cities control everything. People who live in, rural towns and stuff like that, they're just not represented whatsoever. Again, the big cities basically control policy and they control law in California. So it can look pretty bleak if you're looking at California inward, but you got to stop. You got to be more optimistic and you got to look outward. There's other things that can affect California's Second Amendment rights than just what the California government does. And there's a case that's currently happening right now. As a matter of fact, it's a Second Amendment case. It's in front of the Supreme Court, and it is affecting what's happening in California as we speak. For instance, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals is set to hear a case that is involving California's current assault weapons ban. That case has actually been paused, it's been put on hold because of this Second Amendment case sitting in front of the Supreme Court. Now, the two cases are pretty much completely separate other than the fact that they deal with Second Amendment law, but they are, the one that's in front of the Supreme Court right now deals with carry laws out of New York, and then the one in California deals with the current California assault weapons ban. But that doesn't matter because they are Second Amendment cases. That means that the language that comes out of the Supreme Court, just like it did in Heller, the language that comes out of the Supreme Court can have a major effect on the case in California and actually end up working in our benefit. And it seems like, by certain indications, that we might actually get a favorable ruling from the Supreme Court on this one. If we do, the opinion that comes out is going to be used in the case for California's assault weapons ban to try and get that overturned. So again, there's other things that happen across the country. Now, I understand that the Supreme Court does not hear a bunch of Second Amendment cases. Well, the Supreme Court likes to hear cases when there is two differing opinions between appellate courts, or there's a lot of different opinions out there and they need clarification. So if the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals says that they find that California's ban on magazines that hold more than 10 rounds is constitutional, and then you have the Third Circuit or you have the Sixth Circuit that says no, we find that it's unconstitutional. Now you have a problem because you have two appellate courts that are coming up with two different decisions based off of pretty much the same overall idea. The Supreme Court is going to want to clarify that, and that is more than likely a case that the Supreme Court would take in the future, and hopefully they'll start taking more Second Amendment cases. So the thing is that would have an effect on California, regardless of California's politics. This case is sitting before the Supreme Court right now, could have an effect on California's Second Amendment rights, regardless of California politics. There's outside influences that will have an effect on California, and while California's current regime makes it seem like it's pretty much hopeless, the rest of the country having these different opinions, and these different opinions constantly butting heads, and these appellate courts constantly butting heads, is going to work to California's favor. I believe it's going to work to California's favor. And so while looking inward, you might not be able to see any hope. Look outward, be optimistic, and see where hope lies elsewhere. So the thing is, you have to remember here is this is not the time to give up. This is not the time to retreat. This is not the time to back off and just say, well, that's it. It's done. There's nothing we can do from here, so I give up. I give up. That's not what you need to do here. What we need to do is continue to press forward, push hard, make sure that we, put more cases before different courts around the country so that they're forced to go to the appellate courts, and those appellate courts are forced to make a decision. If they're forced to make a decision and their decision is different from another court, we have a good chance of getting in front of the Supreme Court. So this is not the time for retreat. This is actually the time to start pushing forward harder and harder, because these Supreme Court decisions will have an effect on all of the states that currently have all these anti-Second Amendment infringements as laws. So the point that I'm trying to make is it doesn't matter what state you live in. If you live in a state that has a lot of Second Amendment infringements, that state's not a lost cause. As long as we have a chance to bring things before the Supreme Court and, maybe get the Supreme Court to actually hear one or two of them, we have a chance to affect your state, because what the Supreme Court rules on affects the country on a federal level. So it affects pretty much everything. So that's where we need to take the fight. We need to take the fight to the Supreme Court so that we have a positive Second Amendment effect on all of these other states. Currently, in these states, you don't have Second Amendment rights. In California and New York, in other states, you don't have Second Amendment rights. You have Second Amendment privileges. Anytime you have to ask the government for permission to do something, it's no longer a right, it's a privilege. And so we're trying to take that Second Amendment privilege and turn it back into a right. And so I think that that's something worth fighting for. It's not something worth giving up on for sure. And we need to make sure that future generations have all of their constitutionally protected rights, not just the second, but the first and every other one down the Bill of Rights. We need to make sure that we protect those at all costs. So this is a very important topic, and I think that this is not the time to lose hope when you see something bad come out of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, which actually even affects me here in Nevada now, because the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals pretty much covers the West Coast of the country, not just the West Coast, but some inland states as well. And so, the Ninth Circuit makes a decision, it can affect a lot of people, but other circuit courts can have a different opinion. Let's see some change. So again, let's keep those court cases coming. Let's keep supporting those people that support us, that actually are able to lobby and get those court cases in there, and donate when we can. That's one of the biggest things that you can do, is donate when you can, because obviously it's very expensive to fight the fight. So I want to thank you all very much for watching. Please like, subscribe. Have a great day.